day 22, I think we're on. No, 21. I'm not sure which day it is. Doesn't matter anyway. It's the Reseller Yearly Review tag. This is the 4th year I have done the Reseller Yearly Review tag. I saw Ads made a post on Instagram recently saying that he was resurrecting it, but I've actually done it every year since it was first invented by the one and only Tez Nutkins. I don't imagine many of you resellers will, or maybe some of you will, remember back that far into the dim and distant past. I was talking to Nick a little bit a while ago, Nick Hills, about those days and how long ago it seems when we all felt like real pioneers in the reselling community, sort of coming from its birth, really, you know, and that there were so few of us resellers on YouTube in those days. I'm still incredible, although my content has changed massively over the years. I'm still incredibly proud of having been the first female UK reseller YouTuber. It's and when you look at how the community has expanded, and there's so many people doing it now, it's really amazing from where it was 4 years ago. But I miss those days of feeling like a real pioneer of something new and exciting. I do kind of miss that. Anyway, yes, as I said, this tag was started by Tez. I've done it every year for this will be my 4th year. The first one he started it in 2015, and last year I think I did it as a collab with Carla, I seem to recall. There's 10 questions. Question number 1 is best pickup of the year, and for me it has to be my craft haul. It was about halfway through the year, I think it was probably May time. I went to a car boot sale that is only on a bank holiday Monday. Every time there's a bank holiday Monday, this car boot sale's on. And I got chatting to an elderly chap who was selling some sort of crafty bits and pieces, thread and tapestry wool and bits and pieces like that. And he told me that his wife had recently died and he had an awful lot more of this stuff. She had a craft shop, and he had an awful lot more of this stuff to sell. And because we got chatting, he was telling me this, and long story short, I got his phone number, went round there the next day, offered him a price for the lot, and took it off his hands. And it's been brilliant. It's been something really different from my clothing and stuff that I've been selling, so I've really enjoyed that aspect of it very much, and I've made some good money. I wasn't sure to start with whether there was going to be enough money, and it's so hard to make a snap decision when you go to someone's house. You see a whole bunch of stuff, you know, you can't sit. I needed to negotiate the deal there and then, so it was kind of flying by the seat of my pants a little bit, but I'm pleased to say it's worked out all right. I haven't got all of it sold yet, I haven't even got all of it listed yet, but it's been a good old seller for me this year. I've enjoyed it. Question number 2 is best sale of the year, and for me, again, it's related to the craft haul, and it was my biggest ever single sale on eBay. It was £600 worth of embroidery thread, which I sold as some of the thread as a job lot. It was a bit of a touch and go sale. The guy was quite difficult, and I had to be really quite firm with him to avoid the sale going south in the end, but I managed it, and it all turned out well in the end. So yeah, that was my biggest ever single sale on eBay, and certainly my biggest of this year. Number 3 is biggest sourcing fail of the year, and for me it was, you'll have seen it in a video. I will link the video up here if you haven't seen it. It was entitled My Biggest Reselling Fail a few days ago, and it was a bunch of retail security tags which I bought, having had a little bit of success selling the ones off the actual clothes from my BHS haul a couple of years ago. I knew the guy that I bought the BHS stuff from had thousands of these things, and I bought the whole lot off him for can't remember how much I paid. I've got a feeling, I've got the figure £300 in my head, and over 18 months I managed to sell 2 lots of 100. I don't know what the problem was. I thought I was onto a winner and I absolutely wasn't, and if you watched my video the other day, you'll have seen me taking them all down to the skip. I have to say, it was very cathartic getting rid of them. I was pleased to get rid of them, but that was my biggest sourcing fail of the year. Question number 4 is best investment in your business this year other than stock. And I haven't really made much capital investment or any at all that I can think of. I had all my photography lights, and I don't use the lights anymore actually, but had all the stuff that I needed really. I think I am going to be buying a new computer very early in the new year, as mine is on its last legs. I've only had my Mac for probably about 3 years, but when you Ashley said, oh, it doesn't last long, does it? You need another one already. But when you think about I'm using it every day, all day, you know, it does work hard. So I've got a laptop as well, which I use when I'm out and about, not out and about, but away. I do take my laptop with me for work, but I do like to work off a desktop computer. I'm just old-fashioned like that. None of this phone app nonsense. Can't be doing listing on an app or anything. So yeah, it'll probably be a computer early in the new year. I did, however, quite recently buy I don't know if this would be included as an investment, it wasn't expensive, but a male mannequin. The reason I bought this, for long-term viewers, you will remember I bought a job lot of designer men's suits. I'm embarrassed to say this, but 2.5 years ago, and I have listed none of them. These are the last things to be listed on my quest to get through my backlog. And yeah, I've now bought the mannequin. I actually bought 2 of the suits into the house to list the other day. They haven't been drafted yet, but we're getting closer and closer. So maybe my male mannequin is my best investment this year other than stock. Oh God, I'm just seeing I've got to go into a hideous big queue to get through town. I'm going to the Royal Mail delivery office to drop off a parcel that's been misdelivered and pick up another 2 parcels that they tried to deliver yesterday when I was away in Bournemouth. So on the plus side, I should have time to finish this video while we're in the car. Question number 5 is best advice received from the reselling community this year. And to be honest, I've stepped away from the reselling community a bit. I felt like the big groups, I'd sort of, that I wasn't getting anything from being in them. I was wasting a lot of time scrolling through stuff that was quite irrelevant, and I needed to spend more time working rather than scrolling through Facebook, truth be told. Again, there are so many reselling YouTubers out there now that with the best will in the world, I haven't got time to watch them all. And I don't watch an awful, I find I want to spend my leisure time watching other stuff. So I couldn't think of any specific advice that I'd received from the community this year, but so I decided to turn this around a little bit and talk about a lesson that I feel like I've really learned this year. And that is one that I feel like in all the reselling videos and all the content online and Instagram and everything, I'm not sure that people really have a handle on putting a value on their time. And I feel like I've really cemented that this year inside my own head. In order to make good business decisions. For example, just to give you an example, around returns, you can get embroiled in messaging backwards and forwards with buyers and being really furious about returns, and it eats into your time. And just deal with it, take the emotion out of it, deal with it in a business-like manner. If it's 12 quid, don't spend hours arguing the toss over 12 quid. It's not worth it. Move on to the next deal. Just, you know, write it off, refund, write it off, whatever. But yeah, certainly in all aspects of everything I do regarding my reselling now, I do think about the value that my time has, and I feel like that's made me better at what I do incredibly this year. The next question is funniest or strangest reselling experience of the year, and I debated whether or not to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about it in detail because it's not very professional, but my funniest, strangest reselling experience of the year was a very public spat I had on Instagram with another YouTuber stroke Instagrammer who shall remain nameless. It was, yeah, not my finest moment. I didn't ought to argue with people, but I don't. Let's just leave it there. Some of you will know who I'm talking about, some of you won't. But what amazed me about that whole thing was the amount of messages I got, DMs of support from people. It was just, I was really quite overwhelmed by how supportive a lot of people were over that whole situation. So yeah, that was my strangest reselling experience of the year. Number 7 is bugbear of the year. I haven't really had any bugbears this year. eBay annoy me a little bit, I think, with their the way they treat business sellers or across the board. I really feel like there should be a 2-tier business seller system for one-man band type sellers like me and other people like me, and the likes of Superdry or Argos or something. You can't make a one-size-fits-all across a spectrum of people like that, and I feel like eBay have really tried to do that, and it's very detrimental to the people like us working from home by yourself. I think it makes it very difficult around returns and that sort of thing, and yeah, I've taken steps to insulate myself from this during this year. Which, question number 8 was feedback of the year, and I don't take a lot of notice of feedback, to be honest, but I did have one this year that made me laugh. It was something along the lines of, really pleased, these shoes are very comfortable, but the person bought a sandwich toaster, so that just made me giggle. But number 9 was a product that surprised you this year, and I really haven't got an answer for this. I haven't had I haven't, that I can remember, been particularly surprised by anything. I've had some nice sales that I've been surprised how quickly they've gone, or how, you know, but I don't remember anything being particularly surprising this year. Once you get to my great age, it takes a lot to be surprised, I guess. Final question number 10 is reselling aim for 2019, and my aim is just to carry on doing what I'm doing, really. I set my goals monthly, as you know. I do monthly goals videos because I find goals easier to deal with on a monthly basis rather than great big yearly things. So I haven't got an overarching goal for the year, but just to carry on doing what I'm doing, enjoy it, keep on keeping on at the work-life balance thing. That's important. I guess probably my mantra for 2019 is to make more money but work less hours, and I guess that's the same for everyone, isn't it? But yeah, I think that would be what I will aim to do for 2019. But I've enjoyed doing this tag again. As I said, the 4th one I've done since 2015. If you're a reseller and you do YouTube, or you want to Instagram it or whatever, and you want to do this tag, consider yourself tagged by me. And I will be back tomorrow for, is it the last day of Vlogmas? No, I don't think it is. Tomorrow will be a daily vlog, and it will be our Works Christmas Do in Exeter, which is always a very entertaining evening. So see you tomorrow for a daily. Bye.